Ever wished you had like a tireless team working on your crypto stuff around the clock?
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's the idea behind this Botify.cloud, right?
Yeah.
This platform, they're saying they want to be the Shopify of crypto.
Wow.
By giving you access to all these AI agents, you can automate a bunch of stuff. We're talking trading, social media, anything you can think of.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're going to do a deep dive into Botify, go through their website, look at their token details, check out charts from CoinGecko, and we'll even look at some user reviews.
Interesting.
See if this is the future of how we manage crypto.
Yeah, what I think is really interesting is that Botify is acknowledging that managing crypto can be a real pain.
Right.
You're always going back and forth between different tools and platforms.
Right, trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, and it's risky too, right?
Yeah, it feels like the
Yeah.
Wild West out there sometimes.
For sure.
So before we even get into Botify itself, can we just like break down why someone would even need this kind of platform?
Yeah, so think about it. If you want to be even remotely successful in crypto, you have to juggle trading and portfolio management, keeping up with trends, security, community engagement.
Right, that's a lot.
It really is, even for pros.
Yeah.
And the issue is that most of these tools are all over the place on different platforms.
Yeah.
But it takes up a lot of time, and it's not really efficient.
Yeah, and risky. Right.
Totally.
Every time you connect to a new platform, it's like you're taking a gamble with security.
Exactly. And that's what Botify is addressing. They offer one central platform where all the agents have been vetted.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to worry about coming across some bad bot that's going to steal all your money.
So it's like a collection of trusted AI helpers that you can pick and choose from.
Exactly.
But before we go any further, can we just like define what an AI agent actually is?
So basically, just think of it as like a little digital worker that's been programmed to do specific tasks for you. They could be anything from trading bots that look at market trends to social media managers scheduling your posts.
Wow. So instead of me staying up all night trying to figure all this out, I can have these AI agents working for me 24/7.
Exactly. It's a game changer.
It really is. So what about the different types of agents that are on Botify? I'm assuming not everyone needs the same kind of AI help.
Yeah, that's right. They've got a pretty good variety, actually. First, you got trading agents. Those are like the workhorses that go out and analyze market data,
Right.
identify buy or sell signals. They can even execute trades for you based on rules that you set.
Okay, so, but there are already a ton of trading bots out there.
Right.
How are Botify's agents different?
What makes them different is that they're centralized and certified.
Hmm.
So instead of searching all over the internet for bots, you've got this marketplace, and everything has already been checked.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then you've got these volume management agents. They're good for keeping a good trading volume for a token,
Oh.
which is super important for liquidity and price stability, especially for new projects.
So if I was launching a new token, I could use a Botify agent to help manage the trading volume.
Exactly. And then you've got social media agents.
Okay.
Those can be a big help managing your social media stuff. They schedule posts, keep an eye on mentions, engage with the community.
Wow.
They can even analyze sentiment, and they do it all automatically.
Okay, that's something I could actually use. It's like having a whole social media team without the cost.
Exactly. And lastly, there are these utility agents.
Okay.
These are more like general purpose bots that can automate things like collecting data or interacting with different apps. They're like your Swiss Army knife.
Okay, I'm starting to get it, but I'm not a coder. So do I need to be a tech expert to create and deploy these agents?
Nope, that's where Botify's no-code approach comes in.
Okay.
They designed the platform to be easy to use, even for beginners. You can create a custom agent by picking a category, filling out some fields, choosing a language model, and adjusting the temperature of your agent.
Temperature. Is that like how aggressive you want the bot to be?
It's more about controlling how creative and random its output is.
Okay.
A higher temperature will give you more creative and unpredictable responses,
Okay.
while a lower temperature keeps things more focused.
Okay, so if I wanted my social media agent to be more witty and engaging, I would turn the temperature up a bit.
Exactly. It's a way to adjust the personality of your AI.
Cool, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Botify token.
Sure.
How does that fit into all this?
You can't ignore the token. It's a big part of it.
Right, it's not just a speculative asset.
No, it's not. It actually has real utility within the platform.
Right, so it actually does something.
Yeah, the Botify token powers the whole Botify ecosystem. One of the main things it's used for is for marketplace transactions.
Okay.
So you'll use Botify to buy and activate agents. This creates a constant demand for the token.
So it's like the currency of Botify.
Exactly.
Are there any other ways to use it beyond just buying agents?
Yeah, for sure. You can also use it to unlock premium features like advanced agent customization or to get access to certain templates. It's a way for them to give token holders perks.
So the more Botify you have, the more you can do on the platform.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. What about governance?
Oh, yeah. Holding Botify gives you voting rights on how the platform changes.
Oh,
So it
okay.
becomes a truly decentralized platform.
So it's not just about using the platform, it's about having ownership of it.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget about staking.
Oh, right,
Wow.
staking. Can you earn rewards by holding Botify?
You bet. You can stake your Botify to earn extra rewards and benefits within the system.
Okay,
It's their way of encouraging people to hold on to their tokens for a long time and also helps with network security.
right. So the Botify token, it sounds like it actually has a solid use case. It's not just some random token.
It's not, no.
But how does Botify as a company make money? Where does their revenue come from?
Their revenue model has two parts. They have transaction fees, so they take a small cut from every transaction that happens in the marketplace.
Okay.
And then there are platform usage fees if you're using some of the premium features of the agents.
Okay, so they're getting a cut of the action.
Yeah.
But where do those fees go?
That's where things get interesting for anyone who's holding Botify. Botify has this revenue sharing model where some of the fees go straight back to the token holders.
Oh, wow.
So they're creating passive income.
Hold on. You're telling me I can just hold Botify on and earn passive income from what's happening on the platform?
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
Out of all the transaction and usage fees, 50% gets put back into the platform.
Okay.
30% goes to the people who made the agents, and then the last 20% gets distributed to the Botify holders.
So the more the platform grows, the more transactions there are, the more passive income the token holders get.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
pretty compelling if you believe in the potential of AI and crypto.
It really is. But let's get real here.
Okay.
How is Botify actually doing? Is this all just hype or is there something real behind it?
Yeah, let's ditch the marketing and look at some real data.
Yeah.
So this is where the CoinGecko data comes in. Right now, the price of Botify is at 0.038388.
Okay.
What's interesting is that it's jumped up quite a bit recently. It's up 55.9% in the last 24 hours and 91.7% over the last 7 days,
Wow.
which is doing a lot better than the overall crypto market and other similar tokens in the Solana ecosystem.
So people are definitely paying attention and the market seems to be responding well.
They are.
But how about historically? Has it always been this good?
Well, Botify reached its all-time high of 0.04152 just a few hours ago on January 22nd.
Okay.
And its lowest point was 0.007308 back on January 10th.
Got it.
So it's going up, but you have to remember that crypto can be really volatile.
Right. Volatility is part of the game.
Definitely.
But are people generally positive about Botify?
According to CoinGecko, 96% of their community is bullish on Botify.
Wow, that's really high.
It is. It's a really strong positive indicator.
Okay, so we've got a platform that's addressing real issues in crypto.
Yeah.
A token that has a clear purpose and a model that shares revenue with holders and positive sentiment from the market.
Seems like it.
This seems like a project we should definitely keep an eye on. What about the future? What's coming up for Botify?
This is where the roadmap gets really interesting.
Okay.
Botify has some big plans.
Right.
One of the highlights is that they're working on AI agents that can build other AI agents.
Wait, AI building AI.
I know it sounds crazy.
It sounds like something straight out of a movie.
It does.
How would that even work?
The specifics are still kind of unclear, but the idea seems to be that you could have an agent that's only job is to design and build other agents based on whatever goals you set.
So we're talking next level automation here.
Exactly.
Wow. And what else?
They're also working on agents that can launch tokens in real time.
Whoa.
They can analyze market conditions and launch new tokens based on what they find, all on their own.
That's wild. That brings up questions about control and regulation.
For sure.
But it's a really interesting idea.
It is.
What else is in store?
They're also developing AI agents that can audit other bots built on the platform,
Oh, wow.
which is super important for security and keeping things trustworthy.
So AI policing AI.
Exactly, like a checks and balances system for their AI.
Yeah.
They're also working on a desktop app to make the user experience better, and a Botify SDK that will let developers build custom integrations with the platform.
So they're building a whole ecosystem around AI in crypto.
They are. It's a pretty big vision.
It is. But let's take a step back. Why should the average person who uses crypto care about Botify?
If you think about those problems we discussed earlier, Botify is offering a way to deal with the complexity and all the different platforms people have to use for crypto. They're making it easier, safer, and simpler for people to use AI for their crypto stuff.
So you don't need a degree in computer science to use AI.
Not at all. You can just go to Botify's marketplace and get started.
Okay, that's cool.
And that could lead to things like saving time and maybe even making more money.
Yeah.
By automating tasks and using AI insights, you can make better trading decisions, manage your assets better, and maybe even see opportunities you would have missed otherwise.
Right, and we can't forget about that passive income potential through their revenue sharing model.
Exactly. It's like getting rewarded for being part of the community.
But like any investment, there are always risks.
Of course.
What are some of the potential downsides or problems that Botify might face?
Security is a big one for any platform like this.
Right.
Crypto is a huge target for hackers. So Botify needs to be super careful to protect their users and make sure there are no security breaches.
Right.
Their agent certification is a good first step, but things are changing all the time.
Yeah, it's a never-ending battle.
It really is. And then there's regulation.
Right.
The crypto space is mostly unregulated, but that's changing. Governments are starting to step in, so Botify needs to be ready to adapt to new rules.
Right, it's like the Wild West is getting its first set of laws.
Exactly. And of course, there's competition.
Of course.
The crypto world is super competitive. There are new projects popping up all the time. Botify has to keep innovating to stay ahead.
So it's a race to the top, but that's usually a good thing for users in the end.
It is, yeah.
Right, it keeps everyone on their toes.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered a lot here. We've talked about the problems Botify is trying to solve, the platform itself,
Yeah.
the Botify token, real-world performance, and even their roadmap.
Right.
But we're not done yet.
Oh,
In part 2 of this deep dive, we'll be looking at how Botify is different from its competitors.
I can't wait.
So make sure you tune in for that. Welcome back to our deep dive into Botify.cloud.
Yeah.
Last time we kind of covered the basics of Botify, like why it exists, how it works, what the Botify token does.
Right.
But now let's get into the details.
Okay.
They're saying they're the Shopify of crypto, but is that just hype? What makes them stand out?
Well, their focus on certification really stood out to me.
Oh, yeah, we touched on that briefly before.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in practice? What are they looking for in these AI agents?
It's not just about whether an agent can do the job it's supposed to do.
Right.
It's also about security and reliability, making sure there's no shady code hidden in there.
Okay.
They have a whole team dedicated to going through each agent's code.
Wow.
They really put it to the test and make sure it's not going to take your money and run.
So it's like a background check for bots.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better about giving control to an AI.
Right.
But besides making sure the agents are legit, what else makes Botify's approach unique?
The one-stop shop thing is another big difference.
Okay.
You're not jumping between platforms and trying to piece together different tools.
Yeah, that can get really annoying.
It can.
But everything's in one place.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that makes the whole process much smoother.
Okay. But haven't we seen other crypto marketplaces before? What makes Botify different from them?
It's that combination of curation and certification, plus the AI features they offer.
Okay.
They're not just listing any random bot they can find.
Yeah.
They're choosing specific agents that meet their standards
Okay.
for quality and security, and they're always adapting to new market trends and what users want.
So it's more like a carefully selected store than a giant flea market?
Exactly.
I like that analogy. Now let's go back to that instant agent creation thing.
Okay.
You said that you don't need to know how to code to build your own agent.
Right.
But I'm still not clear on how that works.
Okay.
Can we walk through that process step by step?
Yeah, so let's say you want to automate something specific, like keeping track of when certain tokens are mentioned on social media.
Okay, I can see where you're going with this. So how do I turn that idea into an actual AI agent on Botify?
Well, you'd start by choosing the social media agent category on the platform.
Okay.
That gives you a framework to start with, like a template.
Got it. And then do I need to start writing code?
Nope, that's the best part.
Oh.
The platform guides you through a bunch of fields where you tell it exactly what you want your agent to do.
Okay.
So for a social media agent, you might put in the specific channels you want it to look at, keywords to search for, and what actions you want it to take when it finds a match.
So it's more like filling out a survey than programming a complex algorithm.
Exactly. It's designed to be super user-friendly.
Okay, that's surprisingly easy. What about those language model and temperature settings?
Right. So the language model is like the brain of your agent. It's the tech that lets it understand language, analyze data, and make choices.
Okay.
Botify has different language models,
Okay.
each with its own strengths. so you pick the one that suits your needs.
So if my task is simple, I wouldn't need the most powerful language model.
Exactly. And then remember that temperature setting.
Yeah.
That's where you get to tweak the personality of your agent.
Oh, right.
Higher temperature makes it more creative and unpredictable. Lower temperature keeps it more focused and on task.
So if I wanted my social media agent to make some jokes, I'd turn up the temperature.
You could try it.
Yeah.
But if you just want it to give you the facts, keep that temperature low.
Okay. This makes a lot more sense now.
Good.
So I've built my agent, I've changed its settings, and now I'm ready to let it loose. How do I actually deploy it?
That's the easy part.
Oh, good.
You just hit the deploy button,
Okay.
and Botify takes care of everything else.
Really?
Yeah, they host the agent on their servers,
Okay.
connect it to the data it needs, and make sure it's running properly.
So I don't need to set up any servers myself.
Nope. Botify handles all the technical stuff.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
It is.
But let's talk about cost. All of this sounds great, but how much does it actually cost to use Botify and deploy these agents?
That's where the Botify token comes back in.
Okay.
It's more than just something to invest in.
Right.
It's the currency of the whole Botify world.
Right. We talked about its uses.
Yeah.
Marketplace transactions, premium, features, governance, staking. But how does that translate into actual costs for people who are using the platform?
Well, the exact pricing is still being worked out.
Okay.
But the basic idea is that you'll use Botify to pay for agent deployment and usage.
Got it.
The more complex the agent and the more resources it uses, the more it'll cost.
But the more I rely on Botify's AI, the more Botify I'll need?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But remember that revenue sharing model we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
Some of those fees go back to everyone holding Botify.
So it's like everyone who holds the token benefits from the platform's growth.
That's a good way to put it. The more the platform grows, the more valuable that revenue sharing becomes.
That's a clever system. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about the big picture.
Okay.
Botify wants to be the Shopify of AI, which is a huge goal. What does that actually mean, and how could it affect the crypto world?
Think about what Shopify did for online stores.
Okay.
They made it super easy for anyone to set up an online store and start selling things.
Right.
They basically made it possible for anyone to sell online, not just big companies.
Got it. So is Botify trying to do the same thing for AI in crypto?
Exactly. They want to make it so anyone can use AI for their crypto stuff.
No matter their tech skills.
Exactly.
That's a pretty impressive goal.
It is.
But are there any downsides we should consider? What could happen if a lot of people start using AI in crypto?
Or one concern is the risk of centralization.
Okay.
If a few platforms like Botify become the main places for AI agents,
Yeah.
they could end up with a lot of power in the crypto market.
It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
If Botify succeeds, they'll need to be careful about how they use that power.
Absolutely. Another concern is what it could mean for jobs.
Right.
As AI agents get better, they could replace certain jobs.
Yes, especially those that are repetitive or involve a lot of data.
Exactly. AI could do those tasks much faster.
It's like a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it could also create new jobs
Okay.
in areas like AI development, agent training, and platform management.
So it's like any big change in technologies.
Right.
There will be disruption, but it also opens up new doors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that leads perfectly into the last part of our deep dive.
Okay. Intrigued. But we'll have to wait for the next part to explore those questions. Don't go anywhere, listeners. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our Botify deep dive. We've talked about the platform, the tech, the potential, the risks. But now I want to get a little philosophical. Like, what happens when we start handing over more and more control to AI? Especially in something as, I don't know, crazy and unpredictable as crypto.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. As these AI agents get smarter and more independent, we need to ask ourselves, who's really in control? Like, if an AI makes a trade and it goes bad, who takes the blame?
Right. It's easy to blame a person when they mess up. But what if it's an AI making the calls? Do we blame the person using the agent, the person who made it, or do we start holding AI accountable?
It's new territory, legally and ethically. We're used to people being responsible for their choices. But when AI starts making more decisions, we need to figure out who's responsible then.
And what if, I don't know, what if these AIs become sentient? Like, if they become conscious, do they have rights? Do we owe them something? I know it sounds like sci-fi, but it's something we might have to think about sooner than we think.
That's a question that's been around for a while. But as AI gets better, it's not just a thought experiment anymore.
And it's not just about AI becoming self-aware. There are other things to think about, like bias. You know, these AI agents are trained on a ton of data, and if that data has human biases, The AI might pick those up too, and that could lead to unfair results.
Definitely. The quality of the data is super important. If it's biased, the AI will probably be biased too, and that could have big consequences, especially in crypto, which is supposed to be fair and open to everyone.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out, right. But even if we could make AI that's totally unbiased, there's still the issue of transparency. AI is like a black box. We see what goes in and what comes out, but we don't know what happens inside. How does it actually make decisions?
Yeah, that's a big one, especially when it's dealing with money. If I lose a bunch of money because of an AI, I'm going to want to know why. Like, what was the logic behind that decision?
It's like I don't need to be a mechanic to drive a car, but I do need to know that the brakes work.
Exactly. And that's where explainable AI comes in. It's about making AI decisions easier for people to understand. And I think that's really important if we want people to trust AI, especially in crypto, where trust is already a big deal.
So it's not just about making AI smart, it's about making AI that we can understand and trust. Bringing this back to Botify, are they thinking about these ethical and philosophical questions? Or are they just focused on making cool tech?
They have mentioned these issues. They've talked about transparency, responsible AI, and ethics in their stuff. Their agent certification is a good step, too, because it weeds out bad agents.
So they're doing something to make sure the AI on their platform is safe. But what about those bigger questions about control, bias, and transparency in AI? How are they dealing with those?
It's still early days for Botify, and those are tough questions. But they've said they want to work with experts in AI ethics to create rules for responsible AI.
That's good to hear. They're not ignoring the issue. But it's not just up to companies like Botify. We all need to be part of this. Users, developers, regulators, everyone in crypto. We have to make sure that AI is used the right way.
I completely agree. We need to be having these discussions, raising these points, and pushing for transparency and accountability. It's the only way to make sure AI is a good thing, not something we end up regretting.
All right, so let's wrap things up. We've spent these last 3 episodes digging into Botify, from their tech and platform to the big philosophical questions. What are your final thoughts? What should our listeners take away from this?
Botify is a company that's pushing the limits and asking the right questions. They're leading a change that could completely change how we use crypto, maybe even technology as a whole. Whether you're into crypto, tech investing, or just curious about the future, Botify is worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, it's been great exploring all this with you. Thanks to everyone for listening to our deep dive into Botify. Keep those minds thinking, and we'll catch you next time.